So I know I can't be the only one who's attempted to do the 7 day mental diet or any kind of mental diet, paying attention to your mood where you kind of fall into a little bit more of like a struggle. Like for some reason, especially in the past, when I would try to focus on where my mind was, what things I was focusing on, doing like mental diets, etc., it almost felt like things got worse for me. And I'm guessing I'm not alone in this. And throughout this process of me kind of learning how to do things for myself, making it a little bit more practical and wanting to share with others, one of the key things that I realized for me, and of course want to share out with everybody else, is that part of why that was happening is because I didn't have any tools to regulate myself. So I didn't have tools to regulate my nervous system. I didn't have tools to regulate my emotions. I was not emotionally intelligent. I didn't understand why things were affecting me, why things were triggering for me, what was really coming up for me. And it was creating a lot of strife in me trying to get this done. So part of what I started to learn was like how to regulate my emotions, how to deal with myself when I'm feeling like very on edge, right? Like when something has triggered me, it has really created this feeling of like maybe frustration or out of control, and my mind just keeps going back to the same thought, which was something I did a lot if I was trying to do like a mental diet for the first few times I tried to do it, where I was like, this isn't what I want to do, but for some reason now it's almost like I can't stop doing it. And it would just go really bad for me. It was a very frustrating cycle. So, one of the things that I started working on was learning some emotional intelligence and how to calm myself down. And I wanted to share a few of those here because I think they would help folks. So, when you are looking at the way that you want to change your life and you say, I want to make changes, I want to have more fulfillment, there's different ways that I want to behave, different things that I want to do, this is kind of a good starting point to, I guess, to get started on like actually focusing on what it is that you want, right? So at this point, you would have your desired outcome. You would know what it was that you wanted. If you do not know what that is, I actually have a free journal that I put together. I'll put the link down below if you want that. And then I also did actually like a guide, just like a short guide that I kind of wrote out some of the information about like figuring out your desired outcome, and identifying what it is that you want. I think the two of those go really well together. So if you want those, I'll put the link down below. But so once you have that together, the next step is to say, okay, I've got this. Now, what I want to do is learn how to regulate my emotions, stop a spiral, and have some kind of tools like in your pocket or, kind of in the back of your mind that you can do if you're really struggling. One of the first ones is learning breathing techniques. So, when you get triggered by something, you want to start making it a habit to go into some sort of breathing technique. So, you can either do a deep breath in, hold and grab another breath at the top, and then hold and slowly release through your mouth. So it would look like this. It is amazing how much that calms me down. You can already tell I'm like talking slower, and I'm usually a very fast talker. That is one of my favorites. I think another one is to breathe in, counting by 4, hold for 4, breathe out by 8. So it's that is also very calming. Really play around with those. And what I started doing to make this kind of more of an actual habit, so when I got triggered, I would do that and it wouldn't have to be like such a reminder, is that I started doing it more often when there was things that were like minimal annoyances for me. Like maybe I stubbed my toe. I guess maybe that's not a minimal annoyance because that hurts really bad. But let's say that I like dropped my keys while I'm trying to walk to the door. That doesn't really annoy me. I'm not somebody who has like a, quick trigger, but I would still do my breathing at that point because then I'm not so emotionally charged. I can't focus on actually doing it. I have enough of kind of my mind with me that I can say, okay, this is what I want to do. And I did that a few times. Like if somebody cut me off in traffic, if it's not really that bad, it really is not something that triggers me or did before. So I would do it then. If I was getting frustrated at work or wanting to vent or getting like too overwhelmed about something, I would do it then as well. And so I think what happened with that is because I started doing it at times that I was like not crazy frustrated or upset, it made it easier to do it than when I was crazy frustrated or upset. So then another piece that you can do is after that is to always get really curious about yourself or get curious with yourself. Ask yourself, what is this emotion that I'm feeling? This is a name it, tame it technique. It's actually been proven. Sorry, I thought there was a bee in my window. It's actually been proven to help you calm down. You name the emotion, and for some reason, there's something within that that just calms you down. So you can do your breathing, then name the emotion that you're feeling. Then start to get really curious about why you're feeling that emotion. What is it about your core identity that this is bothering enough that it's triggering you to this point? And so you really want to start getting into a habit of asking yourself a lot of questions throughout the day. Even if something makes you happy, so you're not as triggered, you can say, why do I enjoy this so much? Why do I find joy in this moment? Why is this something that makes me happy? Why does this make me smile? Why does this make me laugh? What am I feeling when I'm doing this? And really just start getting very curious about yourself and the things that you're feeling, the way that you're reacting, just kind of a bunch of different, ways for you to start understanding the way that you work, because anything that triggers you, it's because it's affecting an identity of yours, right? Like I don't have a cat, and I do like cats. I actually like cats quite a lot. But if somebody were to tell me like I dislike cats, I'm not offended by this. I do not identify as someone who is so much of a cat lover that that's going to personally offend me. But there are people out there who do get personally offended by that. Like they don't understand how you would not be a cat lover. That goes for like dog lover as well. I actually have a pet dog. I do not understand if people don't like dogs, but I also don't get offended by it because my core identity is not around so much of being a dog owner that I take it a personal attack if somebody talks about the dog. Now, if somebody makes a comment to me that I'm a bad mother, then I'm actually, I don't know that I'd be offended. I'd be more like, what are you talking about? But I would definitely be triggered, right? Like, why would you say that about me? Like, I'm a fantastic mother. I do tons for my kids. We have this really great relationship. I would want to defend that. And that's because that's core to my identity. That is something that's important to me. And when those things are important to you and my perception is that it's important, then that's triggering for me. And I want to understand why. And some of that stuff I'm going to hold on to. I'm not going to let go of the identity of being a mother, but I may choose to let go of the identity of being so tied into my work that if I get critiqued on something that I do, that's, I'm really up in arms and I'm upset and it kind of ruins my day. You really have to start making a choice of like, what is the identity that I want to remain within? What is so important to me that I want to hold on to it to this point? So I hope that that's making sense. But some other things that you can do when you are feeling triggered and upset, one is physically remove yourself. This is actually huge. So you can get up and either move, do jumping jacks, push-ups, whatever, move to a different room, go start a different activity, but do something physical to shake things up for you. I think that's why people also recommend like shaking for the nervous system. I don't necessarily do shaking. I do self-massage, which I find really helpful. So I think that's another good one. And it's really about taking the time to be curious about the way that you're acting. Ask yourself the way that you would prefer to act. Is this really worth your energy? And why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? And then in time, when you say, now I've got my desired outcome, and I want to make sure that I'm remaining focused on that desired outcome, you have tools to pull yourself back when your mind starts to go on kind of a spiral. So you can say like, okay, when I'm going to do like a mental focus for however many days, and I'm going to focus on my desired outcome. You can make a plan that when my mind starts to go to something else, instead, I'm going to do this breathing technique. I'm going to ask myself these 3 questions. You put the questions together. Why do I feel this way? Why is it triggering to me? Is there a memory this is bringing up? There's a ton of questions that you can ask, but just questions about being curious with yourself. And then like I'm going to go do physical activity. I'm going to do 10 jumping jacks. I'm going to do whatever it is. That is a key start to being able to do like a mental type diet, because then you have tools to help you when you are in a spiral. One that I have recently seen actually on TikTok, and I have found like quite helpful, and some other people have told me they've tried it and it's been amazing, is that if you're struggling with your brain just like constantly going, to cover one eye. And it just quiets your brain. Another one that is from the Power of Now book is actually asking yourself, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. Try that one sometime. Just ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. And then also go back to your list of joys. The list of joys, hello, Gotti. The list of joys is going to help you kind of build some resilience. And what that does is, because you're getting, this is hilarious. Oh, he's going to be right up there. I hope y'all like dogs. This is my mother's dog, and he's very sweet, but he likes to lay in the sun. Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. But so, when you have increased gratitude in your life and you're focusing on things that you enjoy, you're making yourself more resilient. So the more that you fill your cup, the more resiliency, I think that's how you say it, resiliency, you have against things that may happen to you. So things that would normally really upset you, you'll notice that you actually have like a little bit more of a shield towards those. They don't affect you the same way that they did. And that's why building natural gratitude is so important, because you're able to continue to choose your mood. And that mood is usually in alignment with feeling better about yourself, having an increased self-confidence, just overall feeling more self-worth, because you're doing things for yourself first to give to yourself, to give these moments of peace and these moments of joy and things like that in your life. And it does. It really helps you become more resilient than when things maybe don't go the way that you wanted them to, or things are happening that you're not able to control. So I hope that you found this helpful. Again, I'll put those links below for the free guide and also the free journal if you're interested. If not, totally fine. I get it. Not a problem. And then from there, I think the next video that I'm going to do is kind of the 3 steps to, really creating this life that you love. It's, having an outcome, making sure that you have that together, and then working on your habits. And so the habits that you're doing on a daily basis. And then also the last one is increasing gratitude. So we talked about that some today. I also have a video coming out that is all around kind of like more night routines. My last podcast episode was about night routines and setting yourself up for success. I've got a little bit more that I wanted to add to that. And my Wednesday of this week, so tomorrow, episode of the podcast is also on emotional intelligence. So I'll be going a little bit deeper into some of these if you have a desire to listen. So talk soon.